Let's go straight away to London now and talk to Arise correspondent Laurie Laird, who is standing by to talk to us in London. Laurie, I wonder what your reaction has been, because I think the last time we spoke, she hadn't passed, but now she has.
That's right. Well, you know, Charles, all indications are that she may have passed when we did speak. When the statement came out from Buckingham Palace, we learned that she had passed in the afternoon. No time of death was given, but there was every indication that perhaps that she had died, and maybe there was some time spent gathering the family before that very sad statement went out just after 6:30.
Right, sorry, there was a bit of commotion in the studio here, Laurie, but I missed the last words that you said, but of course tributes coming in from around the world now, and I think perhaps for me one of the most touching is the one from the now King Charles III, who said of his mother's death that it was a moment of great sadness for him and his family, and that her loss would be deeply felt not just by him but by millions across the world.
And that's very true, Charles. Charles, we can see the tributes that are coming in across the world, how much she will be missed across the world, not just in the UK. But I think that Charles's tribute, King Charles III now, his tribute was important because it reminded us that not only was this the Queen, not only was this the monarch, but this was a matriarch of a very large family. She left behind 4 children, 8 grandchildren, 12 great-grandchildren. So it's not just the passing of somebody that we all know. There's also an intimate moment there where a large family has lost their matriarch.
Please stay with us because we're going to come back to you, but Queen Elizabeth II was known throughout her life for her commitment to the Commonwealth, as you heard Professor Adeniyi saying there. She had a particularly long involvement with Africa. Faith Orr looks back at her days on the continent.
Elizabeth was when her father, King George VI, This is where then Princess Elizabeth was when her father, King George VI, died in 1952. She was on holiday with her husband, Prince Philip, in Kenya, then under British rule. The pair were staying at the Treetops Hotel when the King died. But Elizabeth was not told until the following afternoon, by which time she had returned to a fishing lodge called Sagana, 20 miles away. She had been given it as a wedding present. It was there, beside a trout stream in the foothills of Mount Kenya, that Prince Philip broke the news. Queen Elizabeth was then urgently flown home, having to wait for black clothes to be brought to the plane before she could disembark. As a result, all royals must now travel with a suitable mourning outfit. This was just the start of her relationship with Africa. She watched over as countries gained their independence from Britain and joined the Commonwealth, now made up of 54 member states. It wasn't always an easy relationship, with a long history of British colonial rule that left behind a legacy of segregation, economic ruin and disenfranchised citizens. Kenya gained independence from Britain in 1963, but like several other countries, its ties to the monarchy remain.
The beautiful weather matched the greatness of the occasion.
The Queen visited Nigeria before and after independence. In 1956, she took a trip to Kaduna where she joined thousands of spectators for horse and camel racing. She met the Emir of Katsina, as well as his 9-year-old grandson. In later years, she would travel to Abuja, the capital of the now independent Nigeria, being welcomed by then President Olusegun Obasanjo.
Your Majesty's visit to Nigeria is indeed very significant, and it is a momentous occasion for every Nigerian.
My country particularly applauds the leading part the Nigerian government and people are playing in the new Partnership for Africa's Development.
In 2003, the Queen would lead heads of government to the West African nation for a Commonwealth summit. Conspicuously absent was Zimbabwe's Robert Mugabe, his nation suspended by the organisation and Mugabe himself banned from the summit. Something that did not go unnoticed during the Queen's trip to Uganda in 2007.
Who took Zimbabwe out of the Commonwealth? It is Mugabe, unilaterally, without consulting the people of Zimbabwe. So therefore, I think that it is natural, when the situation has changed to the better, that Zimbabwe should be back in the Commonwealth.
It wasn't the first bit of controversy the Queen had to deal with in the Commonwealth. Queen Elizabeth had visited Ghana in 1957 against the wishes of the public and Parliament. It was felt President Kwame Nkrumah was well on his way to becoming a dictator. 5 days before her trip, the capital, Accra, was bombed. It was feared the Queen could become collateral damage while with the President, but she insisted on going and the trip was a success from start to end. The Queen was surrounded by excited crowds from the moment she arrived with Prince Philip. It showed the monarch was still hugely popular despite the country gaining independence. With her visit, all talk of Ghana leaving the Commonwealth ended, and it allowed funding to flow into the country for the Volta Dam. The British Prime Minister phoning up the American President John F. Kennedy to say, "I have risked my Queen, you must risk your money." Throughout the years and across the Commonwealth, Queen Elizabeth II routinely showed the world that even as a monarch with limited powers, she still had an important role to play. Faith Orr, Arise News.